keep on a talking, marching up to freedom land. I ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. I ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Gonna keep on a walking, keep on a talking, marching up to freedom land. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Keep on a walking, keep on a talking, marching up to freedom land.
Before we begin uplifting, let's just take a breath. That's right. I feel like Black history requires us all turning into a family. And Lord knows that we often find ourselves waiting to differences, holding our life to situations and circumstances. And typically is the 100th anniversary of Black history. That photo who was has this old brazen conflict of a Black history back in 1950. And so we began with that. Let's talk about it for a second. Maybe sort of remote synchronization. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dave. Members, which is Moses Campaign. Dr. Carter Generation was some of enslaved people. And so he's also, he didn't cross himself like people. And at that point, he had earned his Ohio before that. And so his history is one, his personal history is one worth noting. Throughout Dr. Ferguson was the new at the time that he would be the Black history. Do you understand what I'm saying? He certainly had in mind that we would have the movement of lifting up historical moments and individuals. I don't know that he thought that he could be leading because his own story is one that is so powerful. I am someone who just curates those individual stories and the collective history. You know, sometimes when we don't know why we make up a story, and I just caught myself trying to make up a story here. Because I truly don't know why I've done that. So that's a whole lot of interesting thing. It awakens for me. It gives credence. It anchors my optimism. It grounds my possibility in a reality. The first making sense that we are empowered to know that something more, something greater is available. And this harmony that we are the potential, we are the seed for that divine harvest. My things were the seed for a harvest that I have, and there grandparents. So you see that continuum? That there's a point where we can, I think, literally do a dot-to-dot correlation from Mother Harriet to a present that we are experiencing or have experienced. And I think that's true even more broadly. So this time of Black history, I invite into our imagination, grounded in history. Are you listening with this idea? So grounded in history, Mother Harriet, her contemporaries, then the Fannie Lou Hammers, or those contemporaries, and then the Susie Newton and Rose Egan. Is this making sense? But there's a whole continuum. There's a historical line of folks who stood more courageous, so courageously that we know their names. This is not to imply that courage and boldness and commitment and drive was not everywhere. It's to say that some of those names we never know. But there are some that we know. And in knowing that I have worked in my life that to say certain names and the video that you just saw is born with that. How helps me to see those images and to be reminded of that. That awakens something in me. And my prayer is that it's true for me in this. That some of you are tuning in and you're going to forever change. Who you are and what you know today is shifted out of your just having seen an image of someone that maybe you never met, but you know something about. And what is true for us, the kind of normal that we are, is that we mimic. If we see it wrong, we know we can do it, or we try to do it. Does that make sense? Can you honor that that's true and how we're made up? And so we can spend this month to just turbocharge the rest of our lives in looking up here that you personally, individually are inside. That there is that is a part of your making. The divine wisdom, the divine truth that resonates in each and every one of us that is the makeup of our cellular structure. That empowers us to move beyond what has ever been. And in many cases, what we thought could ever be. This is for such a time as this. I need you to hear this one. Because there are those sources and voices and stuff that are very much reminiscent of the history that Mother Harriet experienced. But I'm here to say, did it stop? Did she say, oh, because you're saying that and doing that, then I must acquiesce to your view and vision and sense of who I am. I'm here to say, no, she didn't. I know you know, but I'm going to say that out loud. No, she didn't. She instead had an inner listening. But she's not the only one. And so throughout this book, we'll be talking about it. Today, I just want to say thank you, Dr. Woodson. Thank you. Thank you for bringing us to this point from 100 years ago. We grew from 1 week to now a month. And some of us had a vision because we know that Black history is world history. We had a vision that there would be more of a blending, that there would be a greater comfort, and it would be more widespread and more included. And we know that there are campaigns alive right now to squash that, to squash what is there, take that out. sometimes there are those things that come and I try to stop and see, is this just for me or is this something I'm supposed to do? What is my flow? So I have a very dear friend who has spoken, and this makes sense to me, that sometimes if we're willing to discern patterns of things, this is why I say little home. This is why the video exists, so that you can begin to discern that there really are patterns of freedom, that there really are patterns of wisdom, that there really are patterns of love, of loving kindness, that there really are patterns in life. We must heighten our ability to discern the pattern. And so my friend says that for some it is important, given the existence that appears to be the existence of a certain mission, a certain outcome, collectively for America, certainly for these United States, to have a finished product that looks very different than the trajectory that I was praying for, that I was envisioning. And what my friend says is that the erasure of Black history is the eraser of the back to freedom. My sister Susan has always said that we are the people who refuse to die. That it's not that there wasn't a concerted campaign of genocide. It was simply that we refused to die. And when you think about, genetics, you know that the folks that we know now are from the survivors. You understand what I'm saying? The folks whose bodies were thrown off of the flame sheets. That lineage broke some part of it. Am I making sense with this? So some part of that lineage broke with this. But the folks that we would say for a moment, when we start going back here to see to whom are we connected? We are connected to those who survived to God. Those who lived to die. We are connected to the people who refused to die, who were spared. That medical science would say now would kill you. They had a level of thriving in situations and circumstances that we would commonly say would kill you. So when one makes it their mission to erase that history, it's also erasing the playbook. And there are a lot more people who will need a playbook. And so the eraser of the playbook, we have it almost genetically at this point. But it must be passed on. I don't know if y'all understand what I'm trying to say this evening. Is that this that we call Black history is how to think about it. How to thrive no matter what. And it's for everybody if you're willing to discern the pattern. If you're willing to not get caught up in a myth. If you're willing to look at Mother Harriet And I don't mean the portrait, but I mean look. And look at all the warriors. Look at all the mothers, the fathers. Look at all the women who left great homes. Here's how you can do it. Here's how you can stand. There are consequences to it. But look at you and look at what? We have a concept for the part of Black history. Well, first of all, let me just say, we need to look around including right here, because for Black History 2026, we are displaying quotes. And we know that quotes have their place in Black history, because many of the quotes are considered as medals sometimes. There are messages in the quotes. And then there are simply the quotes that represent the past. Where the grandmother is quoting and she's including that new grandbaby. So sometimes it's the joy of family, but whatever it is, on March 1st, we are having a quoting project. So look, here's what you need to know about titles. That your pouch, we're asking everyone to bring a pouch. And your pouch should be about 8 and a half by 11. Makes it really easy. And it can be made from one piece. I don't know about you, but what they took me in mind of, see on my pattern, is the 1985 AIDS club. Steve Jones, activist, author. They began with 3x5 cards. Just write the names so we don't forget the names of the things. And when they put those up, he said, it made into a quote. Black man, looking at it, yes, made him into a quote. And so we're thinking quote. So whatever you do, you can write names on it. Some of you may have the wherewithal to put a photo on the fabric. People do that. I don't know if y'all have skills, but some of y'all got skills. So whatever it is, have it be meaningful for you. Maybe fabric from something, or fabric similar to something. Fabric that when you touch it and see it, it puts you in mind of. My dad was a tailor in our home where those library, like raw library pieces, where you lift up the glass door and slide it back. And in there, he always said, "What's the fabric?" And because he mainly did men's fabric, it was always, I have such an affinity. I don't wear it. I have such an affinity for plaid. I bought some kente cloth in Japan that reminds me of that pattern so much, because the pattern is an anti-pattern, and it's almost like a pin, like a plaid, and I'm not kidding. Plaid and it. So I have gone on for a whole lot of life. But look, so you can stitch it together by hand or on a stick. Do what you need to do. But the end product is that you are bringing a piece that is either pieces or it's one piece. However, let it represent you differently. And pin something attached to it that lets us know it's from you. Don't just bring it and then sometimes you just have to say a little extra. So what we want is you identify your pot so that we'll know it's you. You don't have to write it on the fabric, but pin something to it that has your name. It's sturdy, we can keep up with it. Yes? And we're asking that it be returned by Sunday, February 15th. Okay? So this is our Black History project. And then on means to me. I wish I knew how it would feel to be free. Part of the lyric says, I wish you could know what it means to be me. Then you see and agree that every human should be. That is her until the feels.
I wish I knew how it would feel to be free. I wish I could break all the chains holding me. I wish I could say all the things I should say 'em loud, sing 'em clear, for the whole round world to hear. I wish I could share all the love in my heart, remove all the bars that keep us apart. I wish I could know what it means to be me. And then you see and agree that every man should be free. I wish I could give all I'm longing to give. I wish I could live like I'm longing to live. I wish I could do all the things that I can do. And though I'm way overdue, I'd be starting anew. Well, I wish I could be like a bird in the sky. How sweet it would be if I found I could fly. Oh, I'd soar to the sun and look down to the sea. Then I'd sing, 'cause I know. Oh, I'd sing, 'cause I know. Yes, I'd sing, 'cause I know. Yes, I sing, 'cause I know. I sing, 'cause I know. I sing, 'cause I know what it means to be free.
Pussy knows what it is. We fight for ourselves. And this is not a knowing. It comes after you feel that you have achieved it all. Does that make sense if I say it that way? This is it's a mental universe. So you don't have to know it in order to experience it. So the knowing is part of your imagination. So for anybody who's thinking, well, how do I do that? I don't feel like I am to imagine it. How would it be if you did? I mean, get good at this so that you really have your portrait, your present that, you'll be able to tick off those aspects of freedom that you already have. And you'll start there with an intention to expand it, with an ultimate intention to live free. Now, I say that knowing and wanting to remind each and every one of us that our freedom, come on, Mother Harriet, help us make this clear, is not at all dependent, contingent on who's in office, or who's in the lower state houses, or who's at the county level, or who's in the municipality. Your freedom is an inside job. But if it isn't, it isn't it. If what you're experiencing and calling freedom is dependent on those external factors, then it's not what you call it. That's something else. And I'm not talking about that, so I'm not going to try to decode that or try to figure out what that is. And I just want to identify this exact. What this is us discerning moments, having moments of clarity, of freedom. Freedom to choose this. Freedom to choose that. And start small. Start where you can really build your confidence and your absolute clarity that there's some freedom in your life. Because I know how easy it would be to give testimony if we're not free. And then we all become the junior experts on the absence of freedom. Pundits. Full-fledged pundits on the absence of freedom. But I'm here to tell you, you get too credit which you don't want. Getting way too good at quoting line and verse. Blindly verse. And rhyme, in some cases, some of y'all make it rhyme. Let's say it. But what you don't want. Leaving totally unattended your true dream and vision. Leaving not just a band to be at the effect of your puppetry. Yeah. I don't know why I took it off. I was over there clapping, singing and dancing. Thank you. Here's what I want. When we tell this truth, we can see in Brianna Weese's work the picture. In this exact moment, in this exact moment of history. Now, I know sometimes this is a challenging little look at for Brianna Weese, the Black History. But I want to bring you into what we teach, the truth is the truth. And that's why we teach it. And that's why we share it here. So assisting us in truth together. Look, I am drawing from yesterday, the 31st of January, into the 1st of February, where in those two pieces, these are the 3 points that I prefer. Survival is resilient. Black history. Survival is adaptive, not definitive. What kept you alive in a hard season reflects resilience. Is there anybody who can't harken back to a hard season, a season in which you might have doubted you'd make it through the season, or if your finances would have made it through the season, or your business would have made it through, your relationship would have made it through, your little creative self-expression, your little job and your work would have made it through, that your children would have made it through the season. Is there anybody? Did I miss anybody? Okay, so we all in this, right? We all in this with this awareness. What our takeaway from that can include much more, but it must include that that hard season did not define the limits of your capacity. If you were paying close attention, it revealed to you a greater capacity than you even knew you had. You better ask somebody, yes? You didn't even know you could do that. That you thought would take you out, you now got a swagger that can't nobody take from you. But you have to remember, you see, sometimes in our living, we forget that we earn that swagger. And we stop swaggering. And we go back to a conversation that is but what we do through is he can't. And none of this good, all of this stuff I do. We each have our own story. Trust the story. Trust it. And see the value in the first takeaway. What is this story telling you about you? And you tell people talking about others. What is your awareness skill teaching you about it? What is Dr. Clarity Woodford's story teaching you about it? What's possible? So you do it. If you can do it, if you can do it, well, that's where none of us want to do it. It was not a thing. You know, you need to tell us. And clearly the treatment that you received was not intended that you could not stop. She knows a little, but she wouldn't do it. But I'm not sure why she wouldn't do that. All the being of that, just be your peace. The time is there. I'm not sure why you didn't do that. Even if you want to do it, but we're not going to let it overlap. We're going to tolerate it. Let's see, what can we learn from it? What's the takeaway? What do I know about me when I look at my people? When I say my people, I'm being very positive. I don't want to do some stories it's all emotional and self-compassion too. We are growing collective. Make it make sense. You can never stop. We're going to say that you don't just get the tip of connection. So right now, we don't get the connection. Yes, God is the story of the lesson where you will not take away the connection. Only the two things when you come off the way. Because there's a time when we don't tell everybody and we're coming to the same step to get it. Take a one or a two. And if it's one, we see we don't do it. So we don't do it. You don't just fight the stress on your mouth. Practice what you do. And practice what after a while. We'll stay in this moment where we're not what we see to do. Yes? Okay, because we look at the point that I was talking about, we look at the other and we get the world. That's what the kid will encourage you. That there's something about survival. There's something about survival in our life potential alternatives with safety. We say that. Here's what just came about. It's so important. You have the potential number, but it's not likely that it's stuck. Coming from an environment with a feeling really but they can't get to the potential until you learn those some of the basic business. It's still for all of us. But if we don't feel safe, we don't look at the potential. None of us is going to have this potential. We don't even let it know. But when we get lonely, when we work it out in common areas, because we can keep this. We know that there's something in your heart, something in your faith. Because there's nothing to store the rich in your faith and make you feel the strongest of faith. Yes. So we don't need to find safety in those that help you. There's an eternal risk that we're going to take with. To know that it's safe for us to make up our minds. It's safe for me to make a choice. It's safe for me to know this. But I don't think it's here for it not to be a fire changes the safe place. As you embrace the level of safety, it's safe for me to speak up. Even if I did not decide to live to do it. This is the moment for you to do it. It's so hard to do. And yet you can do it. With a body and spirit going over all the place in the children's property, with a full stomach of a little breath to keep it going. We realize that that's the thing. Make a bit of room. And some of those are true. When you're no longer thinking your energy shift from inherent survival to expansion. Because it's a moment where you're not struggling, but you're actually safe over. And then there's a moment where that goes on and there's a moment where the stuff you just can't do. You can do it. This is the property. This is thinking, come on, darling, don't tell us. It's just the cover. I open it. Because you don't really always have a foundational awareness of what we're going for. We're just not so free. Faith is something. We're not about it. We're not about it. Yes, we do it when we stop this thinking. The make room, don't get it. Take a breath. I heard it come from your heart. Okay, don't be out there. Take a little something. And then assuming just the way we're walking, we go to the place of purpose. And it's a single learning purpose is fun. Is it? Our purpose rewrites our existence. We're purpose is really a mechanism to get us through the moment. It's meant to be difficult, to really ability to be focused, to be something new, to be something great, to become just what we think we are. Is that what you mean? We're not going to alter the moment to survive. We got to do that. There's a moment where we set this so hard, people start to this year, and he said, Earl, yeah. don't see the funny. But I look at the funny thing is seeing it, not seeing the person. Yes? I want to make sure that our looking at different schools, historical figures, much they know where we get the experience. The friend that is so fully of how we grow in class to take some of life more intensely. We also are how I see, how I glad I integrated the struggle of stress and the doubt and the fears of our life. How have they felt about how I all of this is important. I feel this going in, but this is really fun. I told you this is the one that I let them go. We can't talk about it. We talk about it. We see ourselves first. And not a doctor that for us, it's the ability to say, where am I? Or what is the opportunity in my life for more? What could I do? You know, what I say? Whatever amount of time that we got to see it, but we don't find out what it is. That's not how it is. We don't call it people of what's the problem? What is the chance to have unexpressed circumstances? What's the reality? And so the solution for all of that is to move into the transition of the body. This is something. So if you have a big one, if you believe in your power, from people, because this is what all doing is really all we look at ourselves. Who is, see what you can do. Look at it. Moving to a greater experience of self-love. That is my favorite story. When I watch something happen, I feel overwhelmed that was especially at the very beginning. And they usually discover that the infant stress moves the normal. Making people trouble. We got so much to get through. Not because they are worried or thinking, because it was not yet safe. There's friction. So what becomes clear is this. What that happened is not. I think sometimes we can feel the stories of our ancestors and others. Here's one of the ones that I watched. The person whether they were Confederate soldiers or the and what they faced with. They don't want to necessarily let folks who make the choices for being racist. Yes, they have no choice. Okay, it's not for choice that you didn't say, okay? It shows resistance. What you feel for nothing will do to get you a point where you can when you can say that you know you have the courage to make the choice that you can win. It's one of the choice that you will win. You take it out. What you really realize is sometimes you really how to respond to a situation. If you either have to somehow, because remember that your teacher, if you get in your team or anybody got off, there's some other things that get paid. So some of those choices that paid were the choices that kept them alive. To make it safe for another generation. People. Gives us a message of if there's a whole generation, there's a whole third one. And folks who are not going to peace. But they're not going to live to see the place. To live in it. But somebody has to be really creative. To live in a way that you know you're living for the future. And for the children's children. And for those children's children. But they want to get a difference to the folks who are not right now. But they're not playing on that. There are those who say that we can look at 7 generations back in order to really go for the kind of changes of getting our country to. Survival through occupation. Bring us up to that. what is it that we need to ask you? Our sense of self, our sense of who we are, what we can do, how we can do, what we can do, what we can do.
Morning light, silken dreams take flight as the darkness gave way to the dawn. You've survived, now your moment has arrived. Now your dream has finally been born. Black butterfly sailed across the waters. Tell your sons and daughters what the struggle brings. Black butterfly, set the skies on fire. Rise up even higher, so the ageless winds of time can catch your wings. While you slept, the promise was unkept, but your faith was as sure as the stars. Now you're free, and the world has come to see just how proud and beautiful you are. Black butterfly sailed across the waters. Tell your sons and daughters what the struggle brings. Black butterfly, set the sky on fire. Rise up even higher, so the ageless winds of time can spread their wings. Let the current lift your heart and send it soaring. Write the timeless messages clear across the sky so that all of us can read it and see it when we need it. So the dream conceived inside can never lie. Black butterfly. 'Cause now that you're free and the world has come to see just how proud and beautiful we are, black butterfly sailed across the waters. Tell your sons and daughters what the struggle brings. Black butterfly, set the skies on fire, rise up even higher, so the ageless winds of time can spread their wings.